Welcome to another episode of Drinking After Dark, a podcast where we discuss random topics while having a few drinks. I'm your host, Darius, and as always, drink responsibly. And y'all make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to Drinking After Dark podcast YouTube channel. Uh, right now, I'm just drinking on some breast iced tea, strawberry melon. I hope you guys were having a great uh week, weekend. Um, we're coming to that time, man. Springtime is almost here. Uh, Also too, daylight savings time. So y'all make sure y'all know spring forward. Uh, this coming up Sunday. So I mean, it's already March, and this year feels like it's going by so quick. I know a lot of people. I don't know about y'all area, but around where I'm from, Clarksville, Clarksville, Tennessee. I know, like even in Nashville. A lot of people are complaining about their electric bills. If y'all remember, we had that winter storm back in late January, and it's yeah, a lot of people are talking about their electric bill. So it's crazy. It's a little outrageous. The numbers I've seen, uh, it's crazy. But we here to talk, man. Really, I want to talk about, a couple of things in sports, especially when it comes to the sport of basketball. First off, I'm gonna start with is college basketball. As y'all know, we are in March, so you know what that means? It's March Madness. And Bruce Pearl, we gotta start with him. Bruce Pearl made a comment that got a lot of people in the sports realm to talk. Bruce Pearl basically talked about a team that is undefeated, 30 and 0, Miami of Ohio. All right. Strength of schedule is not good at all. It's like 315. But they're 30 and 0. They are a Division One team. If anybody knows, it is hard to win, especially go undefeated on the college level. It is it is difficult, right? Um, but he said he doesn't think that Miami of Ohio, if they don't win their conference tournament, they don't uh I don't think he said he believes that they're one of the best 68 teams to get into the NCAA tournament. All right, so for those who are not familiar how the NCAA tournament works, if you want to play in the NCAA tournament, uh the best way, the automatic way to qualify for the NCAA tournament is to win your conference tournament. All right. So it could be any team in any conference in Division One. You go through your tournament, you win your conference tournament, you automatically get a bid to the NCAA tournament. So you don't have to worry about, oh, they're gonna choose us. We're not. No, you're already in because you won your conference tournament. Um, but Bruce Pearl, who is a former head coach, Division One, uh, where do you coach at? I remember he coached at Green Bay, Wisconsin. I remember him coaching at University of Tennessee, also Auburn, successful programs, right? Turn teams around wherever he went. But for him to make that comment and for everybody to react to it, I'm gonna give you my reaction to it. It seems a little weird. He said, are we selecting the 68 best teams or is it 68 most deserving teams? Um, it's a little bit of both. All right. I know the president of Miami, Ohio, came out and spoke out against him. We've seen, different sports personalities, from different networks. They spoke out what he said. I'm just gonna give you my opinion about this. You go 30 and 0, regardless of what conference you in, okay? Miami of Ohio is a mid-major. Um, doesn't matter what conference you in, and you can only play, you gotta remember you're playing how many games in your conference? About half the teams in your conference in a sense, depending on how many teams are in your conference too. I know you got the Power Four, which used to be a Power Five, but now it's down to a Power Four. So, some conferences have the advantage of playing a tougher schedule, right? A lot of mid majors don't get that advantage. Regardless, to go 30 and 0 is very impressive. Okay. Uh, but to me, they definitely, excuse me, if they don't win their conference tournament, they deserve to be in. That's just how I feel. Um, for a team to put in that work to go undefeated all season long. Now, however you see them in the conference tournament, that's up to the people to decide. But to go 30 and 0 in college basketball on a Division I level, to me, you deserve to be in if you don't win your conference tournament. Now, if they win their conference tournament, there's no talking about it. But I don't think that should even be a conversation because you got a lot of teams. And granted, Bruce Pearl probably is speaking up for his son who's coaching Auburn, who is mediocre right now. And we clearly they're not one of the best 68. They're just not. Um, that's what it feels like to me. But I also feel like as a coach, if that was you coaching that team, right? If that was you coaching Miami of Ohio, you go 30 and 0, and somebody made a statement like that, would you come out and say the complete opposite? So I'm trying to figure out, I always said this, what you do in the regular season matters, right? You got a lot of teams out there, specifically mid-major teams, that have great seasons, but unfortunately, if they don't win their conference tournament, they don't get in, right? So for me, I believe Miami of Ohio's in no matter what. That's what I believe. And regardless of what their strength of schedule is, we already know what their record is. Strength of schedule, 30 and 0, I believe you should be in. And you never know. I mean, they can win 2 games in the NCAA tournament. Uh, you just don't know. You just don't know how the NCAA tournament goes. We all know how, we see teams come out of nowhere making impact, players come out of nowhere making impact in the tournament. Uh, but I would say this, and this is just my opinion about it. When it comes to Division I basketball, right? What you do on the court matters. The committee cannot ignore 30 and 0 because now, say if they don't win their conference tournament, right? I think they will win their conference tournament, but let's just say, and we know anything can happen during the conference tournament as well. Doesn't matter what conference you play in. You could be the number 1 seed, or you could be like the 6th seed. anything can happen, you know. But I think if Miami of Ohio, if they don't win their conference tournament, I think they should get in because now the committee has to say, well, dang, they go 30-0, but they didn't win their conference tournament, and we don't let them in. Can you imagine the backlash they'll get? The backlash. Because you got teams out here who let's just be you'll probably select a team that's what only won 20 games and put them above Miami or put them in before Miami. It's kind of the mindset of it is stupid. I think what you do in the regular season matters. Um, if you're a mid, especially for a mid major, because you got to think they don't really have many opportunities to go against a lot of the against the power four schools, right? So with that being said, if they play the game like everybody else does, they win on the court. What's the issue? This is not like it's college football where you pretty much would have to pick the 12 best teams, right? Because we know when it comes to college football, there's a huge discrepancy between when it comes to like a power four team versus, I guess you could call them a mid-major team or something like that. Um, Big discrepancy. In basketball, you don't have that. In basketball, it's different. That's why you have Cinderella stories in basketball because it's a game, right? And you got teams that can get hot at the right time, that momentum, carry them all the way, um, deep into the NCAA tournament. We have seen it time and time again. In Miami of Ohio, could they be considered a Cinderella? Probably. Probably. You go 30-0. Now people are like, well, are they really a Cinderella? Because, they were 30-0 in the regular season. So this this notion doesn't really stick out like that, but I believe they should be in. All right. They should be in. We have seen mid majors perform very well in the NCAA tournament. If y'all go back to when I was in high school, uh back in 2004, George Mason made it all the way to the um Final Four. Y'all remember Butler, right? Mid-major team out of the Horizon League. The first year, it was a Cinderella story. They go all the way to the national championship game. Now, the following year, they went back, so they weren't considered a Cinderella story. Actually, they were one of the better teams in the country because of who they brought back. That was like one of the best teams in the country and all of that. So that following year, they weren't a Cinderella story, even though they went to back-to-back national championships. Who else? You had Davidson, Steph Curry. Steph Curry came onto the national scene his sophomore year and took a team all the way to the Elite Eight. Basically, was the biggest star of the tournament, right? A lot of times, and that's the thing too. We've seen uh, a lot of times you remember a team or a player that didn't win the NCAA tournament more so than the team that won it, right? If you go back, what year was that? Trying to remember. What was it? Florida Gulf, Florida Gulf Coast. They were like Lob City or Lob City, Dunk City, however you want to. I mean, what they did, they won a couple of games in the NCAA tournament. Huge impact, right? Northern Iowa, it was another mid-major team. We've seen a lot of upsets. Um, was it VMI? VMI was the first team to beat a number one seed. They beat Virginia, and it wasn't close. they beat them by like 20, right? Which, the following year, Virginia came back and won the NCAA tournament. They had no choice. You were one seed, you lose to a 16 seed. Um, you had no choice but to come back and win the NCAA tournament. But we have those moments. And I think Miami, Ohio could win. I'm not saying they're going to win it all. I'm not saying anything like that. But I believe they can um, win a couple of games in the NCAA tournament. We all know this how it goes. One game at a time. It's about matchups. You play your game. Um, and it's anything can happen. Anything can happen on the NCAA tournament stage. But for Coach Pearl to make a statement like that, knowing him coming from that background, going after a team that had a great season, probably the best season of their school history, and to say if they don't win the conference tournament, they don't deserve to be in, it seems like to me. Um, it's crazy because it's all about in basketball, it's different, like I said, from college football. You want to put the best 12 teams out there. When it comes to college basketball, it's basically you want to put the best teams and the deserving teams. Miami, Ohio has proven, I don't know what else you want them to do. They can only play the teams in front of them. They deserve to be in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament, if they don't win the conference tournament. So, again, Coach Pearl's comments, why did he say it? I have no idea. I know Dickie V came out and I wish I had the tweet with me, but he came out, said something, um, basically clapping back at Bruce Pearl, which is crazy. I can understand somebody who's never played the game on that level or coached on that level. Well, I'm not gonna say coach, but play the game, um, even in college, that would say something like that. But for someone who has coached it, who came from a mid-major, a lot of these coaches, you see them at these major programs, came from mid-major programs, and they had to fight for the right to, play in these type of games. And for him to come out and say something that's, I think, is just completely stupid as a basketball fan, I don't know what the motive was behind it. Saying that this team cannot beat a bottom power four team. What makes you think they can't? Especially now, you got to think now in college sports with NIL, you got players that's 24, 25, 26 years old playing college sports. What makes you think that they can't beat a bottom power four team? I'm just saying. There's a lot of there's a lot of mid-major teams that are better than some of the bottom power four teams. That's just how it is. I mean, you're looking at a team in the conference they play in, but or a school in the conference they play in, are you looking at the team? Is the team worth uh is the team worth all of that? Not every power four team is a good team. So that's why, during this time of the year, you start to see who's what, right? And we can't wait to see it. Um, before no, well, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and move on. I said my piece. I think Bruce Pearl, to me, man, the statement that he made kind of rubbed me the wrong way, from the sense of you being in that position, you coached a mid-major team before you got your opportunity at University of Tennessee, right? And he did a great job. Did a great job here for us. He went to Auburn. You saw what he did. Auburn took them deep into the NCAA tournament. And, sometimes coaches forget. You get to a point of success. Sometimes coaches forget. So I don't know what that it just rubbed me the wrong way. For all my college basketball fans, man, y'all let me know. Should Miami of Ohio um get in the NCAA tournament if they don't win their conference tournament? Y'all let me know. All right. Um, I say yes. I say yes, and then let it play out. Let it play out. You know, that's all I'm going to say about it. Just let it play out. Uh, let's move on because speaking when it comes to basketball, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this respectfully to those in the sports media. When it comes to the NBA or it comes to basketball, period, can we stop with this whole Jordan versus LeBron debate? Can we stop it? It's been going on too long. Both guys have solidified their legacies. Um, Even though LeBron is still playing right now, probably got another season left. I believe Jordan has been retired for what over was it 2+ decades. Um, it's getting to a point where now the debate doesn't even really matter anymore, right? It's like let it go. If you're a fan of one, that's who you're gonna choose as the greatest. That's just how I feel, right? Like for me, my opinion is Jordan is the greatest. LeBron is number two, and I got Kareem and Kobe up there in my top four. All right. But for me, and you know what? I'm gonna speak to Shannon Sharp on this one. And I don't know if he's ever gonna see this or not. Shannon, I get it. You're gonna defend LeBron at every freaking moment. If somebody says something about Jordan, right? Say something about Jordan when it comes to this whole Jordan LeBron thing or whatever Jordan could do this in this era and this and that. Um, he's gonna say something the opposite. Now, I was watching Nightcap and they talked about how would what would Jordan well, first off, start off with Max Kellerman with his podcast with Rich Paul. Max Kellerman said that Jordan would average a 40-point triple double in today's game. Um, I don't know if he would. He would average close to it, but the 40 points in today's game, yes, that I could go with. But a triple double, I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far. Um, I think because the way the game is played now, there's more possessions because the pace is faster. He could average close to a 40-point triple double if he wanted to. Um, but a triple double, a 40-point triple double, I'm not too sure about. Um, but to when this topic comes about, Shannon Sharp is going to say some things. I heard Joe Johnson, the way he spoke. I'm always going to listen to a guy who played in the league, who understands the league. Doesn't mean that nobody else can have their opinions. I think, I'm always listening to guys who have been there and share their experiences and, trying to get their understanding of how the league is and how it goes. But to say that Jordan, and this is where I disagree with Shannon Sharp, to say that Jordan would have to shoot more threes to get to that 40 points, I don't think he would. I think he'll probably shoot maybe two more threes, maybe three more threes. But for Jordan, first off, nobody could stop him then. With the floor being as space it is, and you really can't play defense the way you want to in today's game, oh, he's getting to the rack every time. You know, yes, these players today don't really respect guys on the court. But let's just be honest. The way the game is playing, you know, I can't say, and I know Shannon brought up the fact that players are more skilled today. They are. They're more skilled today. Definitely more skilled today. But I could also make the argument that the rule changes has really showcased their skills because if the game, if they allowed them to really play defense, how much skilled would they really be? If you really allowed them to play defense, how much skill would that really be? And I believe Jordan's mid-range game alone, plus getting to the basket and the free throw line, he could get 40 points, right? Like I believe LeBron in the 90s, and it's just my opinion, with all the great players in the 90s, I'm just going back to the 90s. I'm not going to the 80s. I was going to the 90s. It would be to me, it would be like a toss-up between who's the best player in the league between Jordan and LeBron, right? Early 2000s, um, well, depending on the year, because Shaq was very dominant. Like nobody can stop Shaq 1-on-1. Um, you got Kobe, um, Kobe in the 2000s. It's a lot of great players, but if you had Jordan and LeBron playing in the same era, I believe they would talk about who's the best player, Jordan or LeBron, for years. Um, but yeah, it just seems like, people have already made up their minds about um what a player would do in this era and who is the greatest of all time. Um, I think we could put that to bed now. I think it's time to put that question to bed. It's over with. I don't think really Jordan or LeBron really cares. You know, we seen what Jordan is doing in NASCAR right now. We see what LeBron doing in Hollywood right now. Their legacies is no, that's for them to talk about, right? There's definitely for them to talk about. But I would raise this question. I would ask this question alone. Where does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rank in the GOAT the GOAT discussion? I want to know that. I want to know maybe because it's a talking point to get people to tune in, but where does Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rank in the GOAT discussion? Like, if you're a basketball fan, if you're a media personality, for a lot of people, they got Jordan 1, LeBron 2. People will have Kobe 2, Kobe 3. Where do you have Kareem in your rankings? Right? I'm just curious about that. For a man who has accomplished everything from the high school level, college and NBA level, where do you, where do y'all have him ranked? I would ask Stephen A. Smith that question. I would ask um, Shannon Sharp that question, Max Kellerman that question, um, whoever else, anywhere else on ESPN, Fox Sports, the new media, the podcast and all of that. Where do y'all have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ranked? And why do you have him ranked at that number? What's the reason behind it? I don't know. I just want to know their reason behind it. All right. So I'm gonna put that out there for them to answer that question. Where do you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ranked? Because it's always about Jordan and LeBron. Then you mention Kobe at times, and then it's like nobody else mattered, right? I just need to know. I just need to know. Um, and other players, they could, include other players as well. So that's that. But by the end of the day, I think Jordan and LeBron thing should stop because let's just be honest, generations to come, unless they hear or they go back and watch uh games or hear stories about these players, they're not gonna mention them at all. So let's put it to bed. All right. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in with me tonight. Um, I'm happy to see you guys. Make sure y'all follow Drinking After Dark Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also subscribe to Drinking After Dark Podcast YouTube channel. You can catch the episodes on YouTube, uh, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. Check it out. Also, um, this Sunday, make sure y'all spring it forward, man. Daylight savings time. So I know a lot of people can't wait, for the sun to go down a little later. Weather's starting to change, coming into the springtime. Again, I can't wait. My birthday is later this month in the spring, so I'm excited about it. All right. Until next time, I'm Darius from Drinking After Dark Podcast, so we out. Peace.